So today is Monday, September 2nd. The markets are closed for Labor Day weekend, but looks like we do have the futures chart open. I'm looking at the S&P 500 on the ES chart as usual, and I'm going to kind of take a look at the levels for the week. What's the outlook for the week? How did we end last week? And identify where some opportunities could be. So let's get started. As usual, I'm going to start with a clean chart here, and as usual with highest time frame down. So we did also close a monthly candle in the green last month. We're just going to see if that doesn't really give us too much of a new data point out here. Last month was pretty interesting, intense. It's being that we kind of had that big dip down to the bottom down here, and not going all the way to the very last level, testing that and coming right back up. So that could, typically that a lot of times that means we do want to make another attempt at the top, but in which we did. But let's see what happened on the weekly. We don't need this for right now. Previously, we did draw out this. Here's going on to the weekly, right? So at the top, we do have our weekly. We do have a weekly break right here, meaning that is what we need to get wick through to have any sort of continuation. This is what held us on the bottom side. We came down here into this deeper part of this weekly. Inside here, we already know that we tested we hit a daily in there. Something else that's also of interest is there is a weekly. I would say that's not really tested too perfectly. It's more of a ladder point than I was thinking a base being created right here. But no, that doesn't work. So we do have this. We have a daily down here. So going down into the daily, which was to right here. And we do end up with a daily trend from here to here. Would say I don't really like this trend too much just because, right here we did close under it as well. But it did work as a ladder point. So this daily, say we move that up to this part of the chart right here. I'm going to get rid of that. Moving back to the top. So we made a move all the way back up. We created a daily backside right here, which, has been tested a few times, didn't exactly respect it, meaning we hit something a little bit lower down here. But before we go, actually, let's just go ahead with that and then we'll do the top. So is a daily. Moving on to the 4. So the 4 is starting from right here. That didn't hold it exact. Next side of the 4 is backside to the front side right here. This is the backside of it. This held one time, second time broke it, third time hard closed it, which actually went for the deeper part of it, being this 4-hour. Now that this clicked through, so this still could hold it in the future. This also creates a trend for us right here, giving us our next point, basically next ladder point, somewhere inside this 4-hour candle. So yeah, we can also see this weekly hold here, right? This was the weekly. This is mostly what the battle was about last week, right? Holding this weekly and making sure we don't close underneath it. Every time we came back below it, we did take a move up, hit it again, try to move up. This time, I'd say the weekly didn't hold it. We actually came to test these levels instead of the weekly. Came back up. We have, so that meaning we now again came down, hold the weekly, which actually taking a deeper look could be levels inside that were created off here. There is a disconnect between this 4-hour and what held it from this point here, since that was not a perfect test. So I would imagine that if this weekly fails, we go straight. If this ladder in here fails, what's doing the move right now, we'll go straight for this 4, and maybe we're testing trend. Okay, so that's where we are right now up until the 4. On the top side, going back from the weekly, right? Got up, we moved up. We did close a weekly inside this weekly, but really was looking at what was holding things down here. And that we learned a couple things from. So one thing we do know is this daily is still untouched and really looks like this is what it was trying to go for and couldn't go for it. Was being protected by the 4-hour backside right here. So you have the 4-hour backside, which was getting hit perfectly several times and just continue to hold it. Next, you had the next part of this would be this 4-hour front side. So if I imagine if we do break through, the next part of this is the daily or this 4-hour. And that would, these, really that's all that's left up here. After that, then you go up for the weekly break. So though if this continue to hold it, we do have, we could just play around in this for a bit of time until one gives out. What I do also see is, when we did test right here at this point, this didn't cross it, this did, and this created a 1 hour. So this ended up creating an hourly right about right here, which held the move in this attempt, held it right here, and at this point right here tested it, creating this hourly and this break of the hourly. So marking that and putting us, right, if that tested to right here, putting us to this hourly, which is right now clearly looking to hard close it. And also gives us, looking to see if I missed anything else here. Gives us one other point right here. We have this very local hourly break. This could create something off of it. We did have, okay, so we had that hourly. I'm gonna just mark these hourly there and the hourly breaks. You do have a 15-minute origin right here. Yes, there you go. No need for that. I think we have this 15-minute, and that's kind of current where we are. Going back to the bottom right to see what's going on down here. Where could we, so we have a few possibilities. If we do move up, these are our next levels, which could hold things down. We have from the bottom side our 4-hour trend, 4-hour hold right here. We did see, we did have our weekly, which I deleted, right? That what was weekly to hold it at this point. Where are we? So this weekly needed to hold it for the week. We did hard close up here, meaning now this bottom part of the weekly needs to hold it. Losing this, getting below that, closing means, we basically we're losing the weekly here. So let's dive in and see what could be related to that. So we have this 4-hour created, which did hard close. And we could probably presume we have some levels in here. So we have this 4-hour. And that gave us this 1 hour down. I like to use this one, backside, front side, just because we have the test at the bottom right here. All right, so we do have a 4-hour hourly. I think we lose this. This 4-hour has been this 4-hour has been tested, created an hourly down here. So that puts us right here in the move. Yeah, and so this is, I think, our levels for the week, right? So we're looking at losing the either we're spiking up, hitting the daily, hitting the 4, up to these areas, and on the lower side, at this 1 hour, and I think this ultimate 4-hour down here, along with trend. I think there's really what we have right now are levels. In terms of downtrend, whatever trend we have right now could just cycle out, continue to cycle out. Using trends like, let's say you have a starting of a trend on the monthly right here. This could be kind of as a starting point be used as a measure of is this basically every time we we close a candle over, it's just going to expand out, right? Expand until we keep going. So right now it's right here on the weekly. Just time will tell if it holds and continues to move. You can, for more accuracy, I'm just moving, going through the time frames and just snapping it to the next highest part of the move. So there's that, and then there's to the 4. Yeah, and so we could somewhat use this, but I would not be. I would not be. I think it just adds a little more confusion. And we got to give this one more time to develop down here before we can really say we have a trend here. We did have originally. I did see a 4-hour that was developing here as well. So we did hit the 4-hour bottom. So this 4-hour could have been used at some point. However, this started to get up, break over it, and actually kind of just looks like we did, and hard close that and back test, closed it, and now wants to move up. Now the question is if we are breaking out, these levels continue to hold it. If they do, then you have a failed breakout. A failed breakout means you go back to the bottom of the range to test the bottom. We test the bottom again. If that holds, we break out. If that doesn't, see, just move down, right? But so we got to see the next. I consider the next couple days we'll know if this is going to break out or not. And I guess for at the current, as where things are currently, I would like this 4 hour right here to hold, but did not. We got 5 minutes left. This could still reverse, since we're not even getting over the 15 here. Are we? I'm not. Yeah, 15 is. It doesn't look like it's holding it much more. We'll have to wait and see where this goes. I think we could have a spike up here and see what the reaction is and take things one candle at a time, so to speak. Right now, we don't have really enough data points to say uh, if we're going to lose the weekly or not. Maybe probably through midweek, we could we could have some early signs of the weekly getting lost. But for now, we want to make another attempt to break up. So let's see what happens. I'll try to give another update next week. Let's see how it goes.